Hello everyone, so today is a really special day because when we started this channel, I did not believe that we can go so far so fast. Like for me, one of my first videos was about 5 years from now. So I was just talking about what I want to achieve in 5 years and who I want to be as a person and all this stuff. And one of my goals was to have at least 1,000 subscribers in a year. I mean, 5 years. And so 1,000 subscribers in 5 years. And today we got 400. So I just really want to thank you all for being here, for watching the videos, for commenting, for staying, for all your support. Like I just cannot believe it. Like if it wasn't for you, I would not do these videos because of you, I can do what I like to do, and it's just amazing that there's someone who's actually willing to listen to me. It's just like unbelievable, but wow, like I really appreciate it, and you just mean a lot to me. Like you being here, watching my channel, listening to me right now, leaving a comments, talking to me, like it means so much. Like if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be doing this stuff, and I just really appreciate it. So thank you. Now, as a thing, like as a celebration, like this, I just like love giving to people, and one of the things if you've heard about Rich 150X, he has courses on his website, and there are courses of soul contract course where you remove your limiting beliefs, you remove your soul contract agreements for when you come on Earth, or he has like other courses on how to get out of the body, how to have ubis and lucid dreams and more of that. Courses on how to use the universal release method. So basically, various questions that will help you to talk it out and help like make your life better, help the relationships with other people better. And like so, we have a few courses over there. And as a gift, I want to give away like free courses, like free of each. I mean, like yeah, one of each course is like free courses, so I'll just give it away. So just leave in the comments why would you want the course? Like, do you want to get out of body, and would you like to have the course as your guidance, or do you want to have the universal release method so you would know how it works, how to communicate with people, like various questions to ask, or do you want to know how to do the soul contract provocation? So just leave which course you would like to have and why, and I'll choose three winners and send them the email or link, and you're just gonna get the gift and stuff. Just something to have, like if you want to. But apart from that, I was doing sessions today. Like Rich and I were uploading our videos lately on mainly on his channels, and we're talking. And lately we've been like doing lots of sessions together, targeting entities, getting some soul retrieval sessions, and getting back the aspects of ourselves. And today I was like targeting fear, and I was targeting fear because I was like having a great day. I'm having a productive morning. I'm like doing a lot of things with my team. My team, I mean, as a hobby, what I do for like just because I like anime, so I translate it. I translate it from English to Lithuanian, sometimes from Japanese to Lithuanian. I do the editing. And my team, we have a website, and we have like over 20 people, so all of us are working together. So when I mention my team, like, know that it's that thing. But anyway, so I was working on one project called Kurozuka, and I was like translating it, and all of a sudden, like, I just got done with it. I'm feeling productive, I'm feeling great, and bam, like all of a sudden, out of the blue, I get some sort of fear that I feel insecure. Like why? There is not a single reason for me to feel insecure. Like my life is going great. I'm confident. My relationship with everyone is great. I'm doing great in life. Like there's a positive things in my life, and all of a sudden I get this insecurity. I'm like, what is this? Like it's not me. There was not a good single reason to feel this way. And so I thought, like, okay, this is definitely someone trying to mess with me. And when Rush and I connected, we did a session. So I was targeting this sort of fear, insecurity. And what I found is, like, actually amazing. If you've ever heard about love bias, there are entities who are, like, really messing with people big time, and especially with relationships. So it can be, like, 2 people, 3 people, doesn't matter. But they will make sure that your love life, or just relationship even with your family, even with your friend, if you literally have that unconditional love for someone, they don't like it. Those beings out there hate it, and they will target people. And so I'm like targeting this insecurity of mine. I'm like, where is it coming from? And okay, there's definitely a group of entities targeting me, and I go for a group of entities. Like I see them, I feel them, I go for them, and like okay, they're not the ones. Like they have this ability, but they're not the ones causing it. Who's your boss? And I'm looking, and usually it's Grace, it's reptilians, AI, and I cannot find anyone who's like, who is the boss? Who is the one that's causing it all? And what I find is amazing, and it's a bit overwhelming, but as an information source, it really makes sense, at least to me. Uh, Many of you probably have seen the movie Truman Show. It's a guy living under a dome, and his life is being recorded all the time, and everyone's watching him. And basically, it's funny because our life is actually like that to entities out there. You are the Truman. The show is about you, and the show is about every single being here on Earth. I mean, the people. So we have over 7 billion people being the main show for the others out there in the multiverse. And it's amazing because I've had like sort of suspicious like what if it's like that. And when I was like about, I don't know, 11 or 10 years old, like I used to play Sims, and I used to have thought, like, what if there's someone above us controlling us, like doing this sort of thing, like putting an intention on our thoughts and making us do things. So I had that idea when I was 10 years old or 11. And here I am today having this out of body experience. I'm looking at entities targeting me. And what I find out is that there are billions and billions and trillions and just huge number. Like I'm not good at math, but there's like lots of zeros, like more than 10. So anyway, uh, yeah, there's so many entities out there, and it's not just Grace, it's not just reptilians. There's various entities watching us as a show, like literally other beings out there in their own planets, on their own realms, and hollow, flat, round, whatever. There's all kinds of shapes out there, and they're watching us all the freaking time. If we have beings inside ourselves, we have little entities because of what we eat, what we consume, how we're affected, and so other beings can use anything. Like we as creators, we can imagine a thing and create it with our mind, just because you are the creator, you are the god. But they don't. They cannot do that because for them they don't have the creativity. They don't have the god particle, so they cannot create. They can make but not create. For what we can create, like okay, a spaceship, bam, it's there. You can imagine with all the details. Your realm, your universe. For them, it takes years and years and years to do that. And imagine them having a planet and creating spaceships and everything. And for them, it takes a lot of years to do this sort of thing and like bring it back. For us, it takes a second to destroy it. We're powerful, but it's amazing how they have technology. And like what we have on Earth right now is amazing. Like with the Wi-Fi, the internet, the cloud, and everything, it's a pretty good technology. And there's a lot of technology that we do not know about. Like the military will not to still talk about their stuff. We have the government hiding things, but still we have decent knowledge of what we have right now. Now imagine 5 billion years forward, what would technology be? And how fast and how big and how efficient. So they have that. The beings out there, they have that kind of technology. What we have right now is just basically put 5 years forward and how they advanced. They have really amazing technology, and like they can use their technology and like have lasers or whatever, and project thoughts, project energy. Like they can penetrate our energy field, which I found like I found some entities inside my head, like like a cluster of entities, and they're nanoparticle size, so you basically can't see them or anything. And so I found like okay, there's like literally 6,498 entities that like that little cluster that were affecting me, like sending those files. So they can pick up whatever they see my inside, they feel or they get what I think, how I feel and everything. So they will project that to their higher ups. The higher ups like get it, and now they have the cloud and AI. So everything, all the information is collected. So they know everything about us. And as I was talking about the Truman Show, like there's tons of planets and realms and dimensions where other beings are watching us. Because for them, they've been through a lot of things and they're just bored as can be. And we are their entertainment. Now imagine if those beings also have a little thing like a controller. So they're watching you and you're doing something and they're like, it would be interesting if it started like itching in the back, or if they tripped, or if they had the spot, or if they broke a glass. And they do this thing. And now they're able to control not control you, but affect you or influence your thoughts, your energy fields, your movements, and they literally can cause anything. So when we're not aware of it, we think that it's us. It's us being clumsy all the time. It's us being like dropping things all the time, failing all the time, or tripping. Like, why can't I do this? Why do I always miss like my shots? Or why always it happens to me? Like, it's not you. You are a great and amazing being, but there are other forces messing with you. And that's the thing. Like all those beings are there. They watch us as a show. And if there's like let's say 7 billion people on the planet, there's trillions and trillions and just never-ending number. There's infinite number of other beings out there. And not just greys and reptilians. There's all kinds of forms and beings out there. Like I do not know the name of the races, which is why I cannot call them a specific thing. Like Arcturians, greys, reptilians, and all the stuff. Like, we know of those, but there are others that I haven't talked to yet. But I see them as I go out of body, and they're literally watching us, all of us. Every single day, 24/7, we are a show, we are their entertainment, and they can impact us. They want some entertainment, what would it be like if, and then they decide what they're gonna do. And so what I found out is that, that insecurity fear that I had during the day, is like they were the ones causing it. Because if I have insecurity, and if I keep thinking on it, and feeling it, and then like what might be some of the reasons why I'm feeling it. So I will look for reasons to have the feeling, and that's usually how it starts. We have some sort of feeling, something's not right, and then we look for reasons why. We don't think about much of that, like what caused it, or where did it start, or is it really just the feeling? Like maybe your body just feels this way. So we're looking for reasons why to like justify, like, or why do we have this sort of thing. And for me, as I have this insecurity and looked into it, like it is not me. Like I don't have it. It does not belong to me. And so as Rich and I do these sort of sessions, they're targeting me. Like they're literally putting thoughts in my head, like changing my energy, making me feel insecure or have these sort of fears. And I'm cleaning it out. Like okay, I'm just gonna take care of that. And the next thing I find out is that they're really controlling people big time. Like if I thought like okay, we're connected, they're able to control us and track us and stuff. My skill still was small and I knew nothing. Like I just knew like a little bit, and today I found out a bit more. And it's just like it's fascinating because of how much I'm able to learn and understand, and there's still so much to learn. So like I know nothing, but I love finding out more. And my main thing, what I found out that I want to share, is that they're able to control us using other people a lot. Not just putting a thought in their head, but basically using you as a weapon to use others. So if I'm having insecurity and I will look for reasons why, they will find my buttons, they will find my triggers. I might feel insecure because, and these people would be related. I'm like, okay, what if my parents, were driving and their car, like they had a car crash or an accident or something? Or if what my grandparents, like heart would stop. So I have an insecurity, I'm not feeling safe, and I have this sort of fear. Now, when I have it, they will use we would call it law of attraction, but that's what it is. Like for them, they're using this other game. But when you have a feeling and you think about something that you don't want to happen, they pick it up. They know what you do not want, and they will make it happen. Of course, it's both. It's us using our quantum fields and everything else. They're using our reticular activating system. There's a lot. But they are also playing a part in it. So when you don't want something to happen, they see that, and they will make sure that they can use it against you to cause it to happen sooner, so that they will trigger you and get your illusion. So if I'm feeling insecure, and let's say I would feel something insecure about my parents getting into an accident, my grandparents, or my brother or something, and I'm worrying about some people in my life. Like, okay, what if my cat just died today? Like, oh, no, like, I don't want that to happen. So I have this insecurity, I have this fear, and they are seeing that. So they will make sure that I have this fear, and they will make sure that they can use people in my life. Like, let's say my parents, they would be driving home or doing their phone thing. Like, I don't know what they were doing, but sometime during the day, and they're driving somewhere. And what they would do is they would use people around them. Like, they would impact a person, like, okay, you have to drive there right now. And the person will literally go, like, okay, I'm turning here right now. And it would be a car crash with my parents. Like, they will literally use people on Earth to impact those that you're afraid about. Or like afraid for, or I don't know how to say it. I'm sorry. But people that you care for, it's a big thing, because anything else, like, okay, my PC dies or whatever, it's replaceable. People are not replaceable. You cannot replace them. In workspace, yeah. But in life, if you lose someone you love, if you lose your parents or those who are close, there's nothing that can replace it. And you will always like have this sort of feeling. So they can really impact this whole thing. And for me, they're targeting like, oh, not necessarily me, but for the session, but a lot of people, we're all being targeted, and it's amazing on how huge scale it is. If they're watching a Truman Show, and they're able to use our fears or whatever, like our worries, you might have negativity, and you might not have this feeling, but all of a sudden they cause you to feel that. Like they use their energy weapons or whatever, and they have entities inside you or around you that will be able to affect your thoughts, your energy, your energy, your feeling state. If they're able to affect those, and then they can use others to actually use things around us to make an incident happen or whatever, it's all about causing you pain. It's all about triggering you, it's all about scaring you. Anything negative that can happen will create loosh, and that negative energy will feed them, and they're feeding off from it, they're getting high on it, they're loving it. So we cannot control the situations, but I'm just like amazed how vast it is. Like it's all a simulation. Like when you really think about it, like this whole world, everything is a setup. Everything is a setup. I'm being watched all the time. You're being watched all the time. Everyone is being watched all the time. And there are other beings who can inflict our thoughts or feeling state, and also use people around us and use people around those people that we care about, for example, to cause anything, any incident. Like your mom might be working or something, and someone will make sure, like okay, what if my mom has a bad day at work? And entities and other beings will make sure that they can use other people in life around your mother to go and have, like, say something bad to her, and literally have some jerk coming in and doing something bad, or like, whatever. So they're affecting us by how we feel and think and stuff, and they're affecting other people around us, and it's all a setup. We're all connected in that sort of way, and they're messing with us all the time watching a show. And so it's amazing how vast it is. It's pretty horrible how like overwhelming how everyone's being targeted and how bad it is. But when it comes to, let's say, love life and relationships, it's a bigger thing, and that's why I was talking about the love bite. They're able to use it against you. So let's say you have your lover or someone you like and stuff, and whatever fear you're gonna have. Okay, like, oh my god, I don't feel secure, so I'm worried my husband will like look at other girls, or husband is feeling like afraid that the wife's gonna cheat, or you're just the one them to have a bad day or something. Like whatever worry you might have, whatever thing you might have, your triggers, your fears, it'll be a thing for them to pick up, for the entities. And so you might be having a great day, but all of a sudden you have this like what if idea, or that little fear, and you just have your values. You have your values and your blueprint of life and your rules for life, and they know that. So all the bad parts that you have, they will target those. And it's not necessarily bad, but I mean the ones that can't cause you pain, like you really care about a specific thing, and when it happens against your rules, you're gonna be hurt. You're gonna be disappointed because your expectations were not met, and that's what they're targeting. So they can use people around you to inflict you. So when you have a fear or a worry, they will cause other person that intention. So you have the fear, like, oh my god, I don't want this to happen. And the other person that you are connected to will get the intention to do exactly what you do not want. Like you go into a store and your friend is like, hey, do you want this? And you're like, no. And they will get it for you. And it happens all the freaking time to people, and like it's our everyday mundane stuff. It's just people the way they are. No, we're being affected by those entities all the freaking time. So it's amazing how fast it is and how connected we are all on that level, that they can use our fears, our worries, concerns, and whenever we feel something, the other person, since we are connected, like, okay, this person has the worry, the other person gets the intention. So you're worried, like, okay, I hope they don't go that way, and they get the intention to go that way. That's the amazing part. And, that's the way they're controlling us. So, when I'm doing sort of session, I've found this whole thing. So what I did is just, I was looking for who's their boss. Like, they are the viewers. They're watching us. They can affect us. But who is showing us stuff? Who's translating? I guess I don't know. I the right word for that. I'm sorry. But anyway, the one who is responsible for the show to be on air while the others are watching and are able to do something, I'm looking for that. And what I find is this. uh, Yahweh, Jehovah, Jehovah, like however you would say it, it's literally there, this grand, huge being, and I'm like talking to him, and he's looking like not looking like human at all. It's more like closer to a reptilian bird mix. Like it's a weird freaking creature. I cannot like describe it right, but damn, it's a big thing. And as I keep talking to him, like it's uh, by the creation, by the essence and the beings and intentions, like all the Greys and reptilians and AI cannot be compared to that one because the power, the intention, the being that he has is like way above everything. So it's as if he's one of these demiurges of this realm, like this universe. It's as if it's actually their realm and we're being in it and we're being enslaved all the time. And it's huge. So I'm having this conversation with him, like, who are you? Why are you here? Why are you doing this? And like they literally want to capture beings who are bright, who are intelligent, who have like a loving heart, so that they could capture us and trap us, so that we would not interfere with their plans. And it's another amazing thing by how intelligent and ruthless they are. For me, like I find all those things out there amazing because I just like I'm fascinated by it. Like all their intelligence, their um, power, their just that they want us so much to be trapped, to be enslaved. It fascinates me by their like the intentions and how I don't know like I have the word, but sometimes it just drops and like I just can't remember. Like damn it, like it just clicks. But anyway, they really want us trapped here. And I keep having this conversation and like learning more about it, like why, how, where, and all these beings. And like he's literally one of the bigger demiurges of this realm, keeping all the beings enslaved and trapped. Like even reptilians or Greys go and like are like his slaves, like with all the hierarchy. Like that being's like damn. So it makes me think about this whole religion thing. There are beings that are really good. Uh, this whole Jesus and Allah or Buddha, whatever you would pick, there are those beings and they might be good. But there are forces out there who are using those religions against us and using us to be enslaved. And it's another thing. Like I do not want to pitch it. Like my opinion is controversial. I'm not right. I do not have to be right. This is only my belief. It's my subjective beliefs. And it does not have to match you and you have your own beliefs. But for me, like the conversation I'm having and seeing the control levels on this whole realm, and I mean not just the planet Earth, but this whole universe and every other planet and realm where other beings are, like we're all enslaved, and they're making sure that they can make us suffer, especially here on Earth. They make us suffer, brainwash us, try to get us stuck. Like they're literally capturing bright beings who have like all the abilities to create and do things and make differences. They're capturing us and making sure that we would go to the suppressive people families. Like, okay, we're gonna incarnate and stuff, and it sounds like a good story or whatever. However, they would deceive us or capture us. Like sometimes they would like just take you and like freeze you, so you cannot do anything. Even as a spirit, like you cannot do anything. And they would capture you and trap you here on Earth, make you incarnate into some sick family. Where let's say there are cases when the mother is like alcoholic and she's drinking all throughout her pregnancy, and the child when he is born, he or she. The child is born and it has uh, more alcohol levels. I don't know the English word for that, but basically when you drink, you have that like little level of how drunk you are. And so there were cases like I was literally reading an article and watching it on news the other day. Uh, Not watching it, my grandparents told me about it. But anyway, I was like, I heard about it, I read about it, and the child, as it was born, it had more alcohol levels inside the body than the mother did. And that's sick. Like, the kid is literally ruined and messed. And they literally had, like, the dogs had to have the kid 4 days at the hospital getting all the alcohol out of the body. It's sick. But that's just one level. There are all kinds of parents, and not all beings are good, or most of beings they're good, but the surroundings they live in and the world we are living in, we're being messed with all the time, and on huge levels. Like we're suppressed. We're all trying to do our best at given situation, and sometimes you just have to survive. And like I try to justify those beings, like they might just have had like a really hard life, which is why they're acting the way they do. But sometimes, those who are using drugs and like literally there were cases where people would drug down their children to rape them and use them as a sex toy and stuff. Like, that's horrible. And so they capture powerful being like us and trap us here with a sick family and sick surroundings where they can mess with us in a way where by the year of 10 you would be brainwashed and you would be believing the system and going by all the rules and I don't know, not probably not even reach the year 30, but then as you drop dead with all the brainwashing you had, you would reincarnate again. And then it's an endless trap until the being has some information and is able to realize that it's all a huge thing. So yeah, it's a really big topic. It's like the session I'm having and the releases I've had. Like I literally I took care of that being. I destroyed that demiurge because by all the means he's literally enslaving not only humanity. There are other beings enslaved. Like there might just beings who are living there freely and stuff, and then they're captured and now they're being threatened. Like you have to mess with humanity, you have to mess with this specific person, or you're gonna die, or we're gonna trap you, or blah 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 blah. And so whatever the case, most beings, most entities that mess with us, they're also enslaved and trapped, and there's no other way for them. The only way for them to survive is to mess with others, because otherwise they're gonna die or whatever. So even some entities have fears and they're enslaved, and it's just a huge scale. So with all this work I'm doing, like I took care of the demiurge, I disconnected myself and other people from that, or at least I tried, and I'm changing channels so that now they would not be able to watch. Like one thing, I could destroy all of the viewers, but then everyone needs a plane or a realm where they can play and do the game. I can destroy all the bad beings here, but they're still let's say gonna reincarnate because out there is no such thing as death. I can die a billion times and I'm gonna revive again. Like I'm infinite, you're infinite, all of us are infinite, and so some beings just need a place to play their game, and that is their game, like enslaving, controlling others, and this is what they love to do, getting high on this loosh, and they've been doing and playing this game for billions and billions of years, and we've been enslaved for quite a long time. So it's time to break away, and as I connect, there are literally AIs and other things reading through all the codes, and they have these Akashic records. Like I've in the recent video I had with Rich, every one of us have the Akashic records, and basically it's the history of absolutely everything in your life. All your thoughts, feelings, actions, words you've said, things you've heard, everything is written down, and you can actually just access it and recall every single thing. And entities, they have that, so they can have the mirror version, and whatever they see from you, they can access it and okay, this is what they had, the traumatic incident in childhood, so we make sure that this is the fear and we can cause it again. And basically they're using everything against you. It's just massive scale on how they're messing with us. But with all the bad news and how bad it is, we have the power to change everything, we have the power to be free, we have the power to break away from their enslavement. And so as I was doing this work, I disconnected from the demiurge. I got rid of it, and I disconnected from others, and it's helping. I've literally felt a huge relief or lightheaded. Okay, this is done. I'm not feeling it anymore. They're not projecting it, and I threatened the entities you do not mess with me. You do not project these thoughts or feelings or anything else of me. I've repaired my energy shields because literally they would use the technology to penetrate the energy shield or an energy sphere and then target you, which is why they can affect our thoughts or feelings and stuff. So I took care of that and also started looking for the missing soul fragments. In life, when something happens, it can be traumatic, it can be scary or whatever, but there are times when the other aspects of you will be taken away, or they will run away, or you yourself will think that they are not needed anymore. You have a traumatic incident and then from now on, and you make a decision. So you might make a decision that is not good for that other aspect of you, and you will get rid of it. From now on, I hate dogs because one bit me when I was a kid. And you're afraid of them, you hate them, so you make sure that that loving aspect of you that loves dogs and is crazy about them is gone. And now, someone, somewhere 20 years later, you're like, oh my god, a dog, and you're scared of them or you hate them, but there comes a time when you're someone in your family gets a dog and you cannot handle it. So you would do this soul retrieval work and basically look for that part of yourself. And there's a technique called Ho'oponopono. I'm not sure if I spelled how I say it right, but it's a Hawaiian prayer or meditation thing. And basically, there's four things, uh, or four rules, like, or four ways, four steps to do it. Like basically, I'm sorry, forgive me, I love you, and thank you. And it can be like it can have variations that doesn't have to be the way I line it up, but it's basically these four things. Like you know, so you would go like you would look at the other aspect of you that, let's say, you lost, and you would do the Ho'oponopono thing on them. For example, you would go like, okay, maybe I'm afraid of dogs, but this happened, and I got that aspect off. Like I from now on, I don't need that part of myself. Like I mean, I hate dogs, and now you sort of had to get it back because in your life things happen that you cannot handle it anymore. You hate a dog, but your family loves it, and you're like, oh god, okay, I have to do this. So if you're a part of you that you want to get back doesn't want to get back, there's a reason for it, and this Ho'oponopono thing would help you. So you go like, okay, I'm sorry that I, made a decision that from now on I don't need you. I'm sorry for abandoning you. I'm sorry for whatever you can think of, and then all the things you're sorry for that aspect of yourself, and then you go, forgive me for abandoning you, forgive me for whatever you can think of that you're like want forgiveness for. And then you would thank it like, hey, thank you for being there, like in the beginning of my life or whatever. And you would like get your thank you steps, like thank you for still being there, thank you for existing, thank you for loving dogs, and whatever you can think of. And then the last part is like, I love you. So I love you for being there with me. I love you for supporting me. I love you for loving dogs, and whatever you can think of, like four steps. I'm sorry, forgive me, thank you, I love you, and you just do that on anything. You can do that on the RS of you, but you can do it in life, like whatever. You can like have a thing with your friend, your parents, your lover, people at work, and you can do this Ho'oponopono thing on anyone, on yourself, on like whatever you can think of. And as you do this, it's like you're getting releases, it's helping you. So it's a thing. And then that aspect of you, like as you have the conversation with another aspect of you, it starts feeling safe. Like you can literally explain the situation, like, hey, sorry, when I was a kid, I made a dumb decision that I don't need you anymore because right now things happen that my family got a dog and I actually need you back. And as you explain the situation, those will like the other aspect of you will feel like, okay, that's what happened. So they actually need me back, and it's like they didn't abandon me, and so they can get back. And now all of a sudden, bam, and the love clicks in. It's not like it doesn't need to happen right away, but you will feel changes that once you got that missing aspect back, all of a sudden your life is changing, and you all of a sudden don't feel that much hate for the dog. You're not afraid of the dog anymore, or whatever. And whatever, like you can have any kind of issue, and whatever aspect of you that you've lost, you can do this Ho'oponopono thing. You can just talk to it, and they will not necessarily want to get back. They want to get back to you when you're out of here on Earth, like when you're out from Earth, because they don't like this place where they might not feel safe. And it's not necessarily you that causes them to leave. They might be scared by others. Like literally, other people will like your parents. Like maybe your parents got bitten by a dog, and they're like, "Oh no, you don't want to get that dog. The dog bites, and the dogs are aggressive and stuff." And they will have their own fears that they're inflicting on you. So they will scare that part of you, and it leaves. So all kinds of ways. But like apart from, let's say, the soul retrieval work and the entity work that you can remove them, there's like revoking limiting beliefs and just changing your life for the better. Like there's lots of ways. So anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you today. Again, a reminder, I'm giving away a few courses like Soul Contract course, Ubi course, and this universal release method. So please share in the comments what would you like to get, why, and I will choose a few winners. And again, thank you all for watching me and supporting me and helping me to grow this channel and like having this amazing community. Like I really, really appreciate you. So yeah, hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for everything, and bye.